Up, presented by Hyundai. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers, who is lighting it up this season for the undefeated Packers with 13 touchdown passes, no interceptions. Rodgers was asked about the narrative that he was washed up coming into the season, and he didn't hold back on his answer. Take a listen.
I sometimes laugh when people talk about, down years for me, because a lot of times down years for me are career years for most quarterbacks. Hey, it's just the facts, man.
Woo! I feel like that shot was directed at me. Sorry, Aaron. Joined now by Fox NFL analyst LeVar Arrington. But Acho, you're up first. Are you bothered by Aaron Rodgers' comments?
Man, I love A-Rod's comments, so no, I am not bothered. Aaron Rodgers' comments are not only factual, they're factual and accurate, but I'm gonna get to that later. Anytime A-Rod is arrogant, it always precedes his success. He gets drafted 2005. The Niners skipped over him. They said, A-Rod, are you disappointed? He said, not as disappointed as the Niners are gonna be. Well, since then, the Packers have won the Super Bowl under Aaron Rodgers, and the 49ers are 0 for 2 in their Super Bowls. Since then, the Packers have had 6 starters, 2 primary starters. The 49ers have had 15 starters at quarterback. And so Aaron Rodgers, that confidence, his arrogance was preceded by real-time balling. But I had to think, maybe Aaron Rodgers is lying. Maybe he's boosting.
Oh.
But then I did some digging. Marcellus, I got a question for you. I got a question. My dog, Marcellus, you are a Dak Prescott fan. You're very knowledgeable about Dak Prescott. If you could run 1 year back for Dak, what year would that be?
For Dak personally or for the team?
For Dak, either way. Say go team.
Right now, I'm going to use Dak as is this year, if not last year, because he had career numbers.
Sure, but if you were going to say team, you would say what?
2016.
2016, Dak Prescott balled. They were 13-3. Dak Prescott had 23 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Dak Prescott threw for 3,600 yards. Dak Prescott got an MVP vote. Last year, Aaron Rodgers, 13-3, 26 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 4,000 yards. But let's look at the full screen in case y'all think I'm lying. Dak Prescott's best year as far as team success coupled with individual success was 2016, where Aaron Rodgers actually outperformed Dak Prescott. And they didn't reward Aaron Rodgers with an MVP vote. They rewarded Aaron Rodgers by drafting a first-round pick at quarterback because they thought he was over the hill. So maybe, just maybe, Aaron Rodgers is speaking straight facts and straight fire.
I love it. Okay. Just like Acho, I'm kind of on both sides with this, but I will come out in first and say, I love what Aaron Rodgers said, even though it felt of late because it's directed at me, because I'm one of the guys that said, hey, he's been in decline since 2016. And there are numbers to support that I'll get to in a second. But let's talk about what Aaron Rodgers said that I love so much, and I got to protect it. Because in this world, it's amazing if you let mischaracterizations callous and stay still and you don't attack them, it's going to be hard to change the narrative about you. And that's why Aaron Rodgers right now wants to go out there and flex. And to me, it's not cocky if you could back it up. One thing I really hate, like deep in my core I hate, is this culture of false humility. I've seen it happen too many times when you know you're fresh. Like right now, I'm in this suit right now. I know I'm fresh. But I got to walk into a room and be quiet for like 10 seconds for someone else to say, hey, Marcellus, nice suit. And then I say, oh, thank you there. Instead of walking in that room and like, look, bro, hurting y'all, right? Everyone say, ooh, you're cocky, but I'm backing it up. I've seen it happen too many times. My boy, Max Kellerman, one of the co-hosts that I loved and I killed as well, used to always say to me, he said, because people used to be on Floyd Mayweather so much for being so cocky and just reminding you of his greatness. He said, damn, if the undefeated world champion can't wear 40 gold chains and sunglasses indoors, then who can? Well, if you're Aaron Rodgers and you can't remind people that, hey, I'm a multiple-time MVP and I'm not in decline, then really, y'all, who can?
I love it. I gotta be honest. I would love to disagree with y'all for the sake of disagreeing, but I'm a big Walking Dead fan. Y'all up on Walking Dead, Rick was the main guy. Rick was doing all this, leading the crew, making sure they could survive during the course of this zombie apocalypse, right? And then you got to this moment in time where you really came to the real character in the show, Negan. And he introduced Lucille, all right? Now, y'all wondering where I'm going with this, but here's where I'm going. When you met Negan, right, he pulled out Lucille and with no shame started knocking off all the main characters that you got to know during the course of this epic TV show, right? So this is Aaron Rodgers. I'm sitting there. If y'all show Aaron Rodgers in that interview with Hawk and Pat, I can guarantee you, you're sitting there and you're looking at him like, that's Negan from Walking Dead. He's letting y'all know, anybody out there that thinks, wonders, imagines who I am, what I represent, I got Lucille. You know who Lucille is? That's that baseball bat with the barbed wire around it, and he walking around and he taking heads. He's knocking off heads, and that's what Aaron Rodgers is doing right now. His play is knocking off heads, and he don't have no shame about it. You know why? Because I'm only having a historical season the year that you were planning on replacing me with your top #1 draft pick. I'm going to just lean back in this seat and let y'all know that your best is generally comparable to my worst.
Ugh.
Go figure.
A-Rod was keeping it 100, right? He really was. And Marcellus, I love what you said. It reminded me of a quote my brother told me. Someone told him in college, he was balling, he was a star at Texas, and someone was like, oh, Sam, you're such a great player. And he's like, no, I mean, I'm really not. And they said, don't be so humble, you're not that good. Right? Like, don't be so humble, you're not that good. Aaron Rodgers kicked back and he was like, what am I going to sit here and be so humble for? Y'all know what time it is.
Y'all know.
And if y'all don't, I'm going to remind y'all, think about Aaron Rodgers' down years. They said Aaron Rodgers has been in decline. 2 years ago, 25 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Last year, 26 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. This year, 13 touchdowns, no interceptions. Somebody spot the decline.
Oh,
I couldn't see it. A lot of analysts saw it, but I couldn't see it. And Aaron Rodgers is like, I'm not going to let y'all create this narrative and run with this narrative. What A-Rod did is make everybody go fact check. He made everybody go check their books, and he made everybody do what I did. And I said, wait a second. Dak Prescott got an MVP vote. An MVP vote. Someone looked at Dak Prescott and said, you are the most valuable player in the National Football League for putting up a similar stat line to Aaron Rodgers when Aaron Rodgers tried to get replaced for that same stat line. Aaron Rodgers said, hey, y'all better check y'allself.
Look, Aaron Rodgers is guilty of doing something that happens a lot in this world, and this is why so many things are polarizing. He time shifted. Okay, let's just be real about this, Aaron Rodgers, because you are going to be judged based on you and your performances, your resume versus you. So what Aaron Rodgers wants to do right now is have this interview. I told you I was going to push back on him, too, as much as I love him and for what he said in the beginning. Aaron Rodgers is going to use this moment right now where he's on pace to throw 52 touchdowns and no interceptions to say, was I in decline? Oh, my worst is better than someone else's best. But right now, Aaron Rodgers, what you're doing is better than even your best. So let's talk about that time shift, because using Aaron Rodgers today versus the decline years is where you're going to see where we're coming from, Acho. Aaron Rodgers went from having 40 touchdowns and 7 interceptions and a 10-6 record to the next year he got hurt. Now, you don't usually use that against a guy, but you start looking at him like, how old is he? And he got hurt? All right, whatever. It's still Aaron Rodgers. 4-3 record that year. The next year he comes out as a losing quarterback, 6-9-1, even though he was balling 25 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But as Coach says, you're either getting better or you're getting worse. I don't know if those numbers are better to you, Acho, because I ain't go to a state school, but to me they look worse. So now all of a sudden you get to last
still
year.
Over 4,000 yards, though.
Hey, man, you can, don't get Acho started on passing yards, how he thinks that's empty calorie. Anyway, we get to last year where they asked, again, less of Aaron Rodgers, but they have a 13-3 record in a run-oriented offense they're trying to go out there and play. Then they drafted his position, and now he goes out there, and not only is he at a historical pace, he's at an all-time pace for even himself. So that time shift right now, that's the problem. What we're talking about is this sample size. What he wants to talk about is the bonus he's doing right now. I get the flex, but you can't compare them in terms of context. Coming up, the Browns are 3-1 for the first time in a very long time. We'll tell you if Baker Mayfield squad are contenders or pretenders. Next, Speak for Yourself, presented by